What up? I'm back in the house because it's cold outside. So the picture is of the meal plan that NutriShop gave me, and it is really a lot. As you can see, there's a lot of text on it, but don't worry, I'm going to tell you almost everything, but in a simpler and better way, hopefully, which is how I broke it down for myself. I'm going to post a picture of what I transferred it into because they have a couple options for each meal. They do breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, no dessert, and I just kind of would take their ideas for each meal and then put it on one sheet of paper so that I knew specifically what I was going to do that week. Alright, now we're going to connect all of that information into what I told you about micro and macronutrients. For example, for breakfast, one of the things I did a lot of the time was half a cup of oatmeal with a scoop of protein powder and a little tiny bit of butter and a little bit of cinnamon. That was one of the things that they gave me as an option. So the oatmeal is your carbs, the butter is a little bit of fat to kickstart your body on burning fat for the day, and then the protein is good for you because it's protein. It's probably the most important macronutrient to make sure you're getting enough of in your diet. If you want to be satiated, feel full in between meals, and if you want to just see results, protein's very important. I'm not going to give you specific amounts that you need to get because it's different for every person, and I'm learning this, and I am not about to give advice to anyone. So there's calculators online for that if you want to check them out. Another breakfast option that they had was 4 egg whites with 1 Ezekiel muffin and a little bit of butter. And I am not militant on the egg white thing. It's just a bother to buy just egg whites, or to waste yolks is just out of the question for me. So I just eat eggs. Like, leave out the butter if you're going to be militant about the fat content you're consuming, but like, fat is good for you. Just eat eggs and like a good whole wheat something for breakfast, you know. I also forgot to add that the cinnamon that you put in your oatmeal is for assistance in burning fat. Cinnamon boosts your metabolism. That's what I've heard. Google it. I don't know. Next thing you get to eat is a morning snack, and I did this meal plan on a pretty rigid schedule because I was working at 6 or 5:30, so I would eat breakfast at like 5 or 5:30, and then I would definitely be hungry by like 8 or 9, so I would work the snack in then, lunch at like 11 or 12, another snack later on, and then dinner. So it's whatever. I'm going through this very specific meal plan that I did, but I'm going to get into more of how I worked it out for myself over time and how I've made it sustainable, because that is like my number one like wish for myself and for other people, is that you wouldn't just go on a crash course diet. I don't even recommend this meal plan like for the rest of your life because their goal was burning fat, so it's very, very strict. So for lunch, it's 3 ounces of lean meat like chicken, turkey burger, chicken sausage, or white fish. And 3 ounces is about a palm size if you don't want to get a scale, which I still have never done. And then you also need 2 to 3 cups of green veggies, which is asparagus, spinach, kale, chard, green beans, green peppers, broccoli, etc. And then half a cup of carbs, half a cup of rice, red potatoes, sweet potatoes, quinoa, or 3 rice cakes. So I got really consistent at meal prepping this part of it. I would just cook a little bit of chicken or a chicken burger, a lot of veggies. Steamed or baked broccoli is probably my go-to, and then half a cup of quinoa is really easy to just throw in there. I got distracted and didn't even tell you what the snack is. So a snack is a 1/4 cup of mixed nuts, or half an avocado, or 2 hard-boiled eggs. So I usually did the nut thing, and I just scooped them out in little measuring cups, put them in snack baggies, did like 2 or 3 at a time, and then I had them ready to grab and go to work with. And the guy at NutriShop was really good at explaining how helpful that is, so that you're not like, I'm hungry, what do I eat? And then you like mess everything up, and just eat something that you wouldn't have if you were prepared. So that's snack for morning and afternoon. Those are the choices they gave me. Second to last thing is dinner, and this one is a palm-sized portion of a higher fat meat like steak, salmon, hamburger, or sausage. 1 to 2 cups of veggies, steamed or stir-fried, and then a side salad with a variety of veggies like peppers, onions, garlic, and then 2 tablespoons of dressing is what they allowed, and they just really stressed no sugar. We'll get back to that. And then olive oil based Italian is ideal, is what they said. Last thing is that they told me to eat protein right before bedtime, and that was 15 grams of a protein shake, or half a cup of low-fat cottage cheese, or 2 hard-boiled egg whites. I only did this a couple times. I sleep a lot better on not a full stomach, and that doesn't make you full, but there's something about having protein right before you go to bed that helps your body keep burning fat. See, I'm not like a pro. I'm just telling you what people have told me, what I've heard, and I know it's important to get your protein in. So I personally have not done that. I eat enough during the day that I think I get all my macros and micros, so I don't eat close to bedtime. Alright, now on to one of my favorite topics. It has a lot to do with how that meal plan worked, and a lot of things you may notice about it now that I say it is that you should be eating unprocessed foods. This is the biggest thing besides water and consistency that I think kills most people, is they just go for like healthy, or if the label looks like it's healthy, like they'll eat it, or they really focus too much on portion control. And honestly, portion control is so important, but when I was eating this meal plan, which is all whole foods, besides like a rice cake, which is still 1 ingredient, I was so full. I would almost not be able to put away like an entire lunch because it's so much food, but it was all whole foods. I honestly don't really know the science behind this. I just know that whole foods are good for you. That's how they are made. That's how we're made to eat. It's how they come out of the ground or out of an animal. And it's just how your body processes things easily and well. And I'm just very passionate about whole foods. It's how I try to control my diet when I'm not counting anything else, when I'm not like really thinking about macros. Sometimes I just am very forgetful, and I'm like, man, I want to eat healthy. I've been doing really bad, and all I need to tell myself is eat whole foods. And then I go to the pantry, open it up, and literally nothing is an option, because nothing is healthy if it's not a whole food. So you really just gotta watch this. One big gripe that I have with grocery stores is that they put all of the essentials on the outskirts of the store. And I know you've probably heard this before, but like eggs, milk, vegetables, what else is around? I don't know. But as you walk around the store, everything you need is on the outskirts, okay? So then as you're getting that stuff, you're getting your meat, you're like, oh, the chip aisle is right to my left, and you are tempted to go down there. But like, if you want to shop healthy, try not to shop the aisles. Just shop the outskirt, get your whole foods, focus on whole foods. If you're having trouble even like thinking health or counting anything, just buy and eat whole foods. One of my friends, I do not know which one, said it this way: eat things that will rot, that will go bad, that once walked around on legs or had eyes, or eggs. I don't know where that fits into it. I guess eggs would rot eventually. But just keep in mind, you want to eat fresh things. You want to eat things that will go bad. That bag of chips in the pantry will not go bad because it is not real food. Just focus on unprocessed, whole, good, from the earth food. I have another friend who says it this way. I have to read it because it's like a tongue twister. Greens, beans, grains, roots, and fruits. All right, one more thing that I'm super passionate about. You might have been questioning the fat intake with the macronutrients, but there's this line, fat doesn't make you fat, sugar does. And I believe it 100%. I think there is such a thing as healthy fats like avocados, olives. Fat helps your body burn fat, actually, and it satiates your hunger. So fat is a good thing. Don't be afraid of it. What does put pounds on is sugar. Sugar is so bad for us. It is, and I'm not pointing fingers without pointing at myself because I love sugar. And it's very hard for me to find a balance for it in my life. But I'm trying to because I don't want to give it up completely. I think everything in moderation is okay, but you find what works for you, and sugar is just kind of evil and you have to learn how to master it wisely. So now that we've talked all about macronutrients and how they work with that meal plan, I just hope that you can make it sustainable for yourself. Try those specific meals. Try working them into your day. Try meal prepping. Meal prepping is huge, so helpful. If you make these things and you put them in Tupperwares, then when you're hungry, you eat them and you have no choice but to make good choices. So overall though, I want you to make it sustainable. Make what works for you work, and try to just mostly work in whole foods, work in the right amount of macronutrients, and I think you'll be on your road to success. What really worked for me and worked for me right now is when I'm not just focusing on eating whole foods, I focus on macronutrients. So when I put together a meal, I think about what's in it. When I put together a salad, I put a bunch of spinach in the bowl and I go, okay, I have a pretty good amount of micronutrients right there. Greens make me feel good. They will make you feel good. They will provide fiber, vitamins, all the good things. Like, I cannot stress greens enough. So I put greens in a bowl, then I put like a little bit of sliced chicken, okay? So there's my protein. And then I put, I like to put black beans in salad because that's also protein. And I like to lean the direction of Mexican food, whatever I'm making. I feel like it's really easy to throw together a Mexican meal. You can put a little bit of cheese on it if you want. That counts as a fat. You can put a little bit of sour cream, counts as a fat also. Not that good for you because it's processed, but I like sour cream. Then you can like crunch up tortilla chips and put on there. A processed food, so use in moderation, but whatever works for you. You can put salsa in there. That is, I don't know, just a condiment, and then it counts when you mix it with the sour cream. It's like a liquid, so you don't even end up needing a salad dressing. You can slice up avocado, put that on there. So I go, okay, I got a little bit more fat. So I'm probably good on the fat front. So you can put like half a cup of quinoa in there, stir it up. You got a Mexican salad. You got carbs, fats, and protein, macronutrients, micronutrients, all good. I follow a YouTuber who says, you can't F this up. And while I do not agree with the language, I agree with him. And it is something that has changed my mind, changed my life. Because we get so frustrated. We do these like diets and we think that if we tank one night and eat a tub of ice cream or 16 cookies that we can't get back on track. And that's just not true, and it's sad, and it throws so many people off for the rest of their life. They just get discouraged and they don't try again. But you really can't mess this up. If you are determined and to just get back on the horse, like you eat well for 4 days, you fall on the 5th day, you get back up on the 6th day, you eat well for 4 more days. If you do that over time, you will lose weight. It's okay. Like, we all make mistakes, but if you are determined to be consistent and to be healthy overall, like, you can't mess it up. Just get dedicated and make up your mind to be dedicated. One more thing about sugar, if you choose to start limiting sugar in your life, it's probably going to drive you crazy, because if you start reading labels, you might get super mad. I got super mad. I couldn't eat bagels. I couldn't have salad dressing. I couldn't have just, like, if you're militant about it, you will find out that it is in everything. It's very frustrating. It's amazing what the food industry has done, and I challenge you to read labels even if you're not going to do that. Last thing, 10 points if you realize that my bottom teeth live on a slant. I don't know why. I had 2 sets of braces. Tell me why. For a meal prepping idea, what I usually did, I think I mentioned it already, but what I usually did was just toss frozen broccoli with olive oil, salt, and pepper, throw it on a sheet pan, stick it in the oven, 425 for 10 minutes, check it, toss it, and then put it back in for like 5-ish. You just kind of gotta watch it, and it depends on how dark you like it. So you have your veggie. And then cook quinoa, throw half a cup in each little Tupperware that you're doing. And then for me, I would just do like burger patties sometimes. I love burgers, and just a straight up hamburger patty is delicious to me. Chicken breast works, chopped up chicken works. You can do like stir fry, then you're getting your veggies and your chicken in, and then you would just throw like a rice in there for your carb. Like, the possibilities are kind of endless, so just be creative, think in macros, whole foods, you know. Alright, Annie just asked a very important question, and that is, where does peanut butter fit into the plan? And I gotta tell you, peanut butter is like my number one, and where I fit it in is almost everywhere. But my favorite way is on pancakes. Kodiak makes those protein pancakes, the mix that you can get at Costco or whatever. Make pancakes, make waffles, and I don't use syrup anymore because I realized how much sugar I was putting in my body. So I'll like put a couple chocolate chips in the batter, sometimes more than a couple, and then I'll put peanut butter on top, and I'll just eat them. And like, pancakes and waffles are not as bad to eat plain as you'd think. They're like so good.